What's up, boys? It's Nick from Team Table 501 here. I'm the king of the scrubs, and I welcome you to the last Salamangreat deck profile of 2019. But, a little bit of good news thrown in. I did get first at locals with this, so there is that. But yeah, I don't really plan on doing many more Salad profiles until the beginning of the new year, really until after the ban list comes out, just because, like, the format is so ungodly boring. Oh, excuse me. That's why I've been awake for 32 hours. But anyway, the format is just so ungodly boring, and like all the games basically play out the same now. It's just the same play patterns of the same combos happening every turn, and the same cards hitting the board and the same things being triggered. It's just not fun. But yeah, I'll quickly run through my matchups just so you get a grasp of what I played against. So round 1, I played against Pendulum Magicians. Got their 2-0. Round 2 was against Trickstar, and I got their 2-1. I lost game 1 because they ended up Droll reincarnating me in my standby phase after I circled for Gazelle in response to a Twin Twister, which was quite unfortunate. But yeah, games 2 and 3 were very easy. It was just like set my hand, do the least amount of things that I can do, and just end on a Mirage Dahlia that beats over every card in your deck. Eventually, you're going to be forced to flip a trap, and then when I run you out of cards, I can just go like Phoenix into combo and to kill you. Round 3, I played against Orchist. I think this deck is it was built with Orchist in mind. I 2-0'd that matchup very easily. And then round 4 was Sky Striker. I got their 2-1. Game 1 I lost because I bricked. Like, I actually just bricked. I drew like 4 hand traps and a Sea Archiver and just like didn't do anything. And then games 2 and 3, I drew side deck cards that said I win. So, as always, the link to the deck list is in the description down below. And without further ado, let's just get into it. So, nothing is particularly shocking about this list. I'd call it rather stock for Salad. My apologies. Fuck. So I guess we'll just start off with the main deck. So, got the 1 Gazelle. Obviously, you can only play 1 of this card. 3 Spinny, 3 Foxy. That's like the norm. Just play as many level 3s as you can. Also, one thing I noticed, one thing I was figuring out while playtesting, these 2 cards are no TK through almost any game state, which is actually kind of crazy. I'll show that combo near the end, though, because it is something you need to know. And then 2 Jaguar. There's still a lot of DD Crows running around. There's still a lot of like Call by the Graves and Shark Cannons and stuff. So you need to have access to this, because this is by far your best resource in the mid to late game outside of Will. Just giving you another card for free. And then the best card in the deck, which is Falco, because it sets Will every turn. This card also means that you can be a little more liberal with your wolves, because if you have the Gazelle on the field, and this is engrave, you can have the Falco pick up Gazelle, and then you can have like Wolf bring back like a Mirage Dahlia or like another Wolf or something, so you don't have to like spend that turn getting this back with Wolf. So that's it for the actual salads, and then the rest of the monsters that are like basically salad cards. 3 Buffalo, this card's nuts. If you resolve it, you probably win the game. I did have a game against Orchis where I resolved this card 3 times in 1 game, and I won very easily. And then 2 Archiver, this card's insane. You can summon this during your opponent's turn and like do a bunch of things. That's how I was able to cheese out a really neat play against my striker opponent. Was they summoned a token into their Kagar into their what is it? Or no, they like summoned Ray to the zone that their monster pointed to, and I was like, all right, summon Archiver to my wolf zone, get back Ash, and I'm going to Asher engage. And then they ended up not being able to, they didn't have that extra resource, so it lost in the game, which is like just a neat thing that you can do with this card. It's also just a really good extender. And then moving on to the hand traps, there are 10 of them, 3 Ash, focal point, level 3 fire, obviously you can pick it up with your Sunlight Wolves. 3 effect failure. These should 100% be infinite impermanence. I just don't feel like spending the money. But this was a fine replacement for Imperm. It just sucks. Imperm is 100% better because you're able to activate it on your own turn, so it's better against like the Floodgatey monsters. But, and then 2 Crow. It's a good hand trap. Being able to hit the graveyard starters is important. And then the best card in my deck all day was Ghost Ogre. This card has felt phenomenal to me in playtesting. This card is nuts. Like, A, it's a level 3 monster, so if worst comes to worst, you can just put it on board and it acts as a combo card. B, you are able to use it during either player's turn, and you can even use it going first, which is important. Because it allows you to clear cards like Thanos and that other dork, I can't remember its name. But just like it helps you clear problematic first turn cards. It also just clears the problem forever. Being able to ogre a link monster that activates its effect, being able to deny them that resource is super critical. And it just stops you from dying. A lot of decks can very easily just put a bunch of damage on board, but most of them require an activated effect on field to get that extra monster. So if you just ogre that and deny them that monster, you're safe. Or at least, like, you're not going to die that turn. And that's very important, because in this deck, it's very easy for you to, like, rebuild your board, take away 2 of their critical cards, and then you're not dead. And this card allows that. This card was nuts. If I had room, and if I owned a 3rd German, I would probably play 3 Ogre. That's it for the monsters. On to the spell cards. For the consistency cards, 3 Pot of Desires, 3 Signet Mining. It feels like an absolute staple in this deck. The opportunity cost on Desires is just so low because you only have like 2 cards in your deck that you actually care about banishing. That being Salamangreat Gazelle and Will of the Salamangreat. You don't care about losing your Jacks. You don't care about losing your hand traps. You don't care about losing your trap cards. If you have a Gazelle and your Will in your deck, you can still win the game. So just having access to another 2 cards is absolutely insane. And then mining is obviously great in this deck. It tutors everything. Even if you already have full combo, you can go search for extenders, or you can go search for Buffalo just to dig a little bit deeper into the deck. And then the actual best card in the deck, 3 Will of the Salamangreat. I have no idea why people are cutting this card. It is absolutely insane. Just because, like, there are very few boards that people are ending on that you just cannot interact with. And so having a card every turn that just generates an advantage is nuts. Side note here, I'm sorry, but that's also why Ogre is really good, it beats the IP board, because when they go to activate IP, you can just Ogre and they don't get to summon on your turn, which is kind of nuts. But yeah, this card's dumb. I know people are playing like Call by the Graves and stuff over this, but like I don't understand why. Like most of your combos play through hand traps anyway. Like the only thing that you care about resolving is either Stalio or Gazelle, and like you can't Call by the Grave and Imperm, and that's the best hand trap in the game right now. So why would you even play Call by the Grave? Like you're better off just playing more copies of this and more hand traps yourself to stop your other players from playing the game, so that on the next turn you can just like go nuts. So yeah, and then the 1-ofs and the 1 Circle and the 1 Sanctuary, just mandatories. And then 2 Cosmic Cyclone, just very, very good card. No real explanation here. Banishes Babel, banishes Crescendo, banishes Multi-Roll. Even in the mirror, it's good because you can banish their will, and they don't have access, and they can't access it through Wolf anymore, which is also very good. And then for the trap cards in the deck, just 1 of each. I don't think you need more than 1 of each. These are more just like utility cards that you can get back with your Gazelle plus Wolf in like the mid to late game. And if you draw them, it's also fine. So 40 in the main. Liked my main deck. The only thing I would, like I said, I would really want to make room for a 3rd Ogre if I could. I just don't entirely know what I would cut for it. Field centers. Moving on to the extra deck, we got 3 Banelinks, 3 Wolf, and 2 Heatleo. This is norm. This is obvious. Like this is just like the standard 8 you've had for a while. Where did it go? 1 Hita, 1 Phoenix. This is also just like the norm, being able to access your opponent's graveyard, spell and trap removal. And then this is something that it's been catching on recently, but still not everyone has been on it. It's the update transcode Borreload package. So for those of you who don't, I'll explain what these cards do real quickly. Update Jammer, the field effect basically never matters, but the real effect that matters is the Link monster that was summoned using this for material gets 2 attacks in the battle phase. And then Transcode Talker has an effect where when it's summoned, you can bring back any Link 2 or lower Cyberse monster in your graveyard and summon it to Transcode Talker Zone. But then you're locked into Cyberse for the rest of the turn. And then the other effect is that it and its co-linked monsters each gain 500 attack, and they cannot be targeted by card effects. And then Borreload is Borreload. But what this allows you to do is if you can get access to Transcode plus Update Jammer on board, that is 8,100 points of damage, and it kills your opponent through an open game state. If you're able to make Borreload with Update, you get 2 attacks with Borreload, you get to take apart 2 of their monsters, and at that point you should be able to break apart their board and go for game. So this gives the deck an actual win condition outside of just like looping Wolf and cards looping cards with Wolf every turn. So like you're actually allowed to kill your opponent, and this also helps you break boards. It lets you convert just like your random level 3s into like actual advantage, which is great. And just like these cards are also very good on their own. Like Transcode is absolutely insane against Striker. Just like it pointing to anything means that like they can't target any of your things. They need like a jamming waves to out your board, and even then you have Banelinks in your graveyard. So yeah, these cards are very good. I can understand if you didn't want to play them, if you wanted to play like an Appaloosa and Avramax and other stuff. Totally understand if you wanted to do that. It's perfectly respectable as well. 1 Stalio, you don't need more than 1. And then Dweller, because this is the best card in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. This card's fucked. Holy shit. So that's it for the extra deck. Onto the side deck. 3 Lancia. It's the best hand trap against Orcus going second. If you resolve it, you basically get a free turn. And then something I was trying out, but I'm not entirely sure if I like, was the Scythe plus Triple Sanctum. So the theory behind it was that if you go first and you open Sanctum, like if you open Sanctum plus 2 level 3s, you basically just get to kill your opponent. Because during your opponent's turn, you get to go Sanctum to Scythe. They can't access their extra deck, and then on your turn, you just go 2 level 3s into the update combo, and then they die, which was the theory. But I never got to resolve this at all because I did not get to go first in many of my games post side deck. Most often I would win game 1 and then go second and then decide in like 7 cards going second and then just win the match. And like the one game where I did go first was game 3 against Trickstar, and this was terrible against Trickstar, so I wasn't going to board it in. But in theory, it allows you to do that. But yeah, and also, this is also good against Orcust because even if you banish your Scythe off Desires, you can summon Lancia from your deck. But that's the thing too, is that because there's no way to put the Scythe back in your deck, if you board these in, you have to take out your Desires, which decreases the consistency of your deck, which is a problem. Because like it means that you're just like forced to open hard combo, whereas sometimes you can open like Desires plus Buffalo, dig 20 cards into your deck, and then find it, because you're playing a bunch of 3-ofs. But if you're taking out cards that let you do that, then you won't be able to access them more often. And you can't really play Scythe with Desires in your deck, because if you banish Scythe off Desires and then you draw Sanctum, they're dead. So... and this getting ashed feels so bad. Feels so bad. And then just like my going second cards, 2 Pankratops and 3 Mind Control. These were insane. Like this should not be at 3. It's so dumb. It lets you break board so easily. Like these 5 cards let me beat Pendulum single-handedly because it was like my opening hand game 2 was 2 Mind Control, Pankratops, like Gazelle hand trap, and I was going second because I won game 1. And so it's like they made their 4 negate board, and it was like, okay, Mind Control, negate, summon Gazelle, negate, summon Pankratops, break the rest of your board apart. It was dumb. But yeah, these cards, very good. Wouldn't change them for anything. And then the last card in my side deck was 3 Twin. I feel there's like a mandatory 3 of in the format right now. The Striker's running around, Draco's running around, Rogue, Floodgate decks are running around. You need access to this card to just blow up multiple things. So that's it for the deck profile. I'm going to quickly run through the Update Jammer Transcode OTK. And all you need to open is Spinny plus Foxy. These 2 cards kill your opponent in almost any game state. So what you do is you first normal summon Foxy. You link it away into Balinx. The Balinx effect is going to activate. You're going to search your field spell. Then you're going to activate the field spell. And then you're going to activate the effect of Foxy in your graveyard, discarding Spinny. You're going to summon Spinny from your graveyard. And then you're going to link off your Spinny and your Foxy. So Spinny gets banished. Foxy's in the graveyard. You make Update. And then you link off your Update and your Balinx into Transcode. And then Transcode will activate its effect on summon, bringing back Update Jammer. So this is at 2,500 attack. This is at 28. This can attack twice. That's 8,100 points of damage. Your opponent is dead. Now this specific iteration of the kill is very interruptible because like it loses to Nibiru, it loses to a hand trap on the Balinx, it loses to your Spinny or Foxy being interacted with while in the graveyard, say called by the Graveyard Deity Crow. But if you're able to simplify the game state down to where your opponent doesn't have any monsters and they just only have like spells and traps, you can usually get the game to where like you can Nightmare Phoenix, send a Spinny, or like you send a Foxy and then you can activate your field spell and then Foxy back the Spinny and then kill them from there. But just Spinny plus Foxy, if you're able to get the game to that, kills them. So that's the update OTK. And that is going to do it for the last Salamangreat deck profile of 2019. It's crazy now that this deck's been out for like a year, and I'm still playing it. It's kind of nuts. But yeah, this deck is super fun, super good. I'm probably going to be playing it for the majority of 2020 as well. Unless they like just ban Gazelle or they ban Wolf or something. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And hopefully I'll be able to bring you guys more content in 2020 because I thoroughly enjoy playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, which makes me really happy. And I'm going to get back to making videos because I'm going to make videos on what I like. So, but yeah. That's going to do it for this deck profile, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Also, follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I post some cool shit. Links to that to be in the description down below. And that's going to wrap it up. My name is Nick from Team Table 501, and get good, scrubs. I'll see you next time.